Aloha, my name is Peter. I wrote this story not too long ago. It was last year. It was pertaining to my mom because my mom was a big part of my life. So I wrote this story, and it's called, it's about a young girl named Leilani. So it's a fantasy story based in Hawaii. So I'm gonna read to you guys the prologue, and then you guys comment down below. Tell me what you think, okay? Thank you guys. Aloha. My name is Leilani, or Lei for short, pronounced Lei like Frito-Lay's potato chip company. But I am not a chip. I'm one of a kind if I don't say so myself. I was born to rock. No, serious, I am. I know that not many of you know or heard of the name Leilani, except if you're from Hawaii. So let me stop you right there. How do I put it this way? Well, my mother gave me my name. It means heavenly flowers. Yeah, me, a flower from heaven of all places, right? So yeah, that is what my name means. Just in case you're wondering, because I know you are. I know I sound like a tough girl on the outside, but deep inside I am a total softie. Yes, I love flowers and cute bunnies too. There's one thing I will not do though, and that's wear a dress. You won't catch me dead in one. I know my mom tried to get me to wear one. Boy, did I put up a fight. Anyways, enough of that. So if you must know a little bit about me, I am 13 years old. But somehow I feel much older than that. I am your average girl. Okay, nothing special. I am but about 5 foot nothing, a little taller than your average 13-year-old. Yes, I have long wavy black hair, big brown eyes, light tannish skin, and I have a mouth like a sailor. But for Pete's sake, I will do my best to censor my words. Feather flockers! Oops, that came out of nowhere, I swear. Tonight, I'll be baking my mom's favorite banana cream pie to help raise money for my little brother's field trip. His second grade class will be going to a place called the Bishop Museum. Once you've seen a museum, you've pretty much seen them all. But the kid loves stuff like that, and they have the dinosaur exhibit going on. I have no idea what he fancies about them. Seriously, they're dead and should stay that way, but go figure. I won't destroy his hopes and dreams. After all, he just started opening up again after my mother's passing. To be honest, it's been a rough road, and sometimes I feel like I'm all alone in this. I know I'm getting all teary-eyed on this subject, so please bear in mind. It's been 2 years since my mother's passing. Ever since then, the house been quiet. No music, no dancing. My mother loved to sing, loved to dance, and would always be singing and dancing, preferably to Hawaiian music. My father would sing. In fact, he had his own band, and every night they would perform in town in front of all of those tourists. I sure had a blast watching my mom dance for her hula lao. It's like a big Hawaiian dance club. I would dance, but they wear dresses, and I hate dresses. I mean, wearing them. Eventually, my father gave up his singing and now works 2 full-time jobs. He is a security guard at the Hilton by night, and he drives tour buses around the island by day. How he does it? I have no idea. Every night he comes home, he looks drained and exhausted, and I feel so sorry for him. I started to take up the mantle of cleaning and cooking. If I didn't, then nothing would get done. My mother taught me to do all of these things, and to top it off, I'm a clean freak. Well, she used to jump on me for not doing it, and it runs in my genes somehow. Somehow, it skipped my little brother though. So now you pretty much have a hint of where this is going. But let me rewind the clock backwards to when my mother was alive. I promise I'll make it interesting, so this story is a little weird. I was 6 years old. Okay, so I'll paint the picture so you can understand. Well, for starters, I should introduce my parents before I get ahead of myself, so without further ado, here we go. My mom, she goes by the name Ella. Of course, if I dare call her that, I'd be grounded for days. Not like it would have helped then. She had fair skin, almost like mine, but lighter, think vanilla. My mom was the fairest in the land. Haha! Now I make it sound like a fairy tale. No, but it's true, she was. Well, in my opinion, that is. And my opinion matters, so I'll go with that. This is my story, and I can tell it how I want to. My mother, Ella, had long, black, wavy hair. Like mine, but unlike my big brown eyes, she had natural green eyes. The kind of eyes that belong to a cat. She was tall and slender, and I remember all my uncles on my dad's side, that is, were always gawking at her every chance they could get. When my father wasn't looking, of course my father knew, but he didn't care because my mother loved him, not them. My mother taught Hawaiian at my elementary school, meaning she taught Hawaiian arts and crafts, as well as language too. Of course, I got teased by my classmates, like, "Oh, there's your mom," and they would point and laugh, but knowing me, I'd wait until after school to make them regret it, which would land me in detention, and now you know why I'm so good at cleaning, because my mom would be on my butt. Did I learn anything? Yes, I did. I learned how to cook and clean. My father was nonchalant, meaning he was there, but wasn't. His name is Bobby Davis, which would make me Leilani Davis. He has a knack for playing music. He could pick up any instrument and play it as if he'd been doing it for years. As for me, I have none of my mom's dancing talents or my father's musical gifts. Nope, no talent, maybe getting in trouble and arguing with my mom, but none that I know of yet, at least. My father was a tour bus driver for Roberts, Hawaii, and he loved it. Nothing made him happier than entertaining tourists. He did it driving around the island and again at night with my mom at the International Marketplace in Waikiki. My parents were oddballs. I loved them so dearly. So now that I introduced my parents to you, I will move it along. It was a Memorial Day weekend. Both my parents were off for 3 days. During that time, we went camping at my mom's favorite beach called Makapu'u, which is nearest to where my mother grew up in Waimanalo, located on the southeastern part of the island of Oahu, pronounced Oahu. Well, Oahu is the third largest island of the Hawaiian Islands, also known as the Gathering Place. My Aunt Berlin, my mother's oldest sister, used to always tag along with us on family outings, such as this. My mom and my aunt took turns holding my little brother Kalani, who was just 7 months old. He was a cute chubby baby. My mother named him Kalani, pronounced, well, Kalani, of course. Now, according to my mom, she had a dream of him before he was born. He came to her not as a baby boy, but as a man. As my mom had put it, he had broad shoulders, bulky arms, something out of a bodybuilder magazine. My mom claimed he looked like the spitting image of my grandfather, except he had lighter complexion over my grandfather's bronze skin. I grew up on stories of my grandpa, how he knocked out a bull with one fist, or better yet, picked it up with one hand and lifted it up over his shoulders and tossed it on the back of a pickup truck. Something that took 6 of his sons to do. Yes, the only legendary Grandpa Joe. I've no idea half of the stories are true. He died when I was just a baby. My mom and my Aunt Berlin swear on the Bible that it is true. And my folks are church-going people, including my father. Who am I to judge, right? Anywho, in my mother's dream, my little brother had a commanding presence, like if he told somebody to jump, they would ask him how high. I mean, as if I'm the one he listens to. Maybe he'll get it from me. One day, perhaps. All that he said was that he loved her and that he would be coming down to the earth. Hence, from that day forward, my mom was determined to have a baby boy, and she would name him Kalani, which means guardian of the heavens. I know another name that ends with the word heaven. Why bother? He's anything but. I love him though. Kalani has my mother's ocean green eyes, my father's sheepish grin, and his playful nature, not to mention his uncanny knack for music. Yes, the kid can sing. He has my grandfather's shaggy curly locks and my mother's freckles. I have my mother's long wavy hair and her freckles too, if I might add. So, where was I in the story? Oh yes, it was a warm, sunny day. The trade winds were kicking in on the final day of our camping expedition. Both my mom and my Aunt Berlin were busy trying to make sure the tents didn't fly away. My dad hadn't fastened the stake which held the tent securely in place. It was funny watching my mom trying to wrestle the stake into the ground, and my aunt trying to hold both tents from flying away. It was as if I was watching a circus sideshow. My father left with my Uncle Reno, who is Aunt Berlin's husband, to grab more ice and beer. Of all things, leaving the women to their musing. I was somewhere building a sandcastle with my plastic shovel and bucket, grabbing clumps of sand, filling my little plastic bucket up and trying to dump it into moist sand, failing at it miserably. The sand would collapse into a huge mound. I am no sculptor or artisan, but it kept me preoccupied for a time. While I was in my own little world having fun, my mother called out to me 3 times, which I ignored. Lay, 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 she screamed my name to get my full, complete attention. Yes, Mommy, I acted innocently. Get your butt over here now. She was pretty upset by the sound of her tone. Dragging my foot, I gradually made my way over to where my mother was, hammering the stake into the ground. She had my little brother safely harnessed to her back. Babe, I need you to take your baby brother to the water for a bit, she said. But Mom, I tried to retort. I was having fun all by my lonesome. No buts, she demanded. My mom unhooked the harness and was holding my little brother in one arm and trying to swing a mallet with the other. She laid down the mallet and handed Kalani over to me, who seemed to be at ease with the whole situation. His hair was blowing in the wind. His meaty fingers were trying to claw onto my arms like clamps. You'll be all right, baby, she reassured me. Just go. I'll be watching you from here. Mom, what happens if I tried to explain to her? You'll be okay, baby. Who is she kidding, right? But my mom is adamant when she makes up her mind. Great, put the fate of a 7-month-old in the hands of a 6-year-old girl. Just great. I've seen my mom take him out into the ocean. She would hold him in her arm and let him float, while she would keep her arm safely secure around him. It would be my first time doing that. I wasn't too sure about it myself, although my mom was. My little brother looked like an ant on my mom, but he was like a short midget compared to me. I struggled to hold him upright without dropping him. For a baby, he sure was heavy, which made me curious. How on earth was my mother able to hold him in one arm and swing a mallet with the other? Some questions will never be answered. I guess I'll just live with that. I somehow managed to make it to the water without so much as dropping him on his head, thankfully. I waded in, nice and easy, holding Kalani close to me, trying not to panic. The water was cool and refreshing. My baby brother cooled and giggled, splashing water onto my face. All right, you little booger. We're here, I said playfully. I held him up right facing me so I could gaze into his green eyes. I did what my mom would do. I let go and tried to catch him with my hands. As I did so, a small wave came up and took him away from me. It splashed into my eyes, blinding me for a brief second, while knocking me completely off balance. When I came to, I tried to right myself, then proceeded to wipe the salt from my eyes. Opening my eyes, I couldn't find Kalani anywhere. I thought maybe he floated away from me, but there was no sign of him anywhere. My world started caving in on me every second. I couldn't find him, made my heart beat faster. Without thought, I dove into the water with my eyes wide open, feeling the burn from the salt, searching the murky deep for him. I held my breath, forcing myself to stay under longer than I could possibly endure. I could feel the pressure in my lungs building into my chest. I kicked out and finally broke the surface. "Don't worry, Leilani," I thought I heard a voice from somewhere beneath me. At a deep bass-like tone, warm, gentle, and friendly. A cold shiver ran down my spine, while the hair on the back of my skin started to rise. There was no one with me, not that I had noticed. "Here he is," the same voice spoke again without any warning. Suddenly I felt something rising to the surface before me. The water seemed to spit it out. I reached out with both hands to clasp my hands around this moving particle emerging from the sea. My eyes were blinded by the light emanating from it. I could feel the warmth around it like a round bubble as my fingers stretched out to embrace whatever this was. Then the bubble burst, revealing my little brother who was kicking and fidgeting. His face was red with anger. Thank goodness, I breathed out a sigh of relief. I clasped him closer to my chest so I wouldn't lose him again. "Now take him to your mother," the voice said. What freaked me out was I didn't know who it was that was speaking to me, but I felt so comfortable. I know I should be running for the hills. "Don't worry, you'll be safe, my dear. Nothing will harm him again." Nothing, I thought. Who was nothing? I was going to stay and find out. That was for sure. For a small girl, I took off as if I had a jetpack strapped to my back, making it to my mom faster than it took for me to take my baby brother to the shore. I was panting and wheezing. By the time I made it back, the tents were stationary and my mother had all the pins anchored. My mother turned and looked at me with a bit of concern, biting the top of her lips. Knowing when my mother bites her upper lip, she's upset, and that means I would get the full degree of her temper. So I braced myself, waiting for her temper to be unleashed on me. Instead, she smiled and said, "That wasn't so hard, now was it?" I knew there was something in her words because she never did that before. "I'm glad that the two of you are okay," she said, and it was weird because I saw what looked like a glimmer of a tear coming down her cheek. She got down on both of her knees and without any type of warning locked me in one of those vice lock type of hugs, and she didn't let go. She shivered uncontrollably, breathing "thank you" many times, but to someone else because she kept looking upward. "You're welcome," I heard, and it was the same voice I heard from the inside the water, and that freaked me out. I looked out towards where my Aunt Berlin, who was standing nearby, she seemed shocked as well. I couldn't, for the life of me, explain that day. Anyways, hope you guys like it. If you guys do, give it a thumbs up, and also comment down below. Thank you guys. Aloha.